Welcome to Market Mantra, the program in which we give you a complete update on the economic, business and stock market news of the day. I am Arjun Chaudhary and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Vibhuti Kumar Mishra.
धन्यवाद अर्जुन। श्रोताओं, मार्केट मंत्र में आपका स्वागत है। आधे घंटे के इस कार्यक्रम में हम देश और दुनिया से आर्थिक, व्यापारिक और शेयर बाजार के ताजा समाचार आप तक लाएंगे और उन पर चर्चा करेंगे। हमारे साथ खबरों पर चर्चा के लिए स्टूडियो में थोड़ी ही देर में आएंगे आर्थिक विश्लेषक एसपी शर्मा। तो सबसे पहले हेडलाइंस सुनते हैं अर्जुन से अंग्रेजी में।
Sensex surges by 1,131 points to reclaim the 75,000 mark. Nifty closes above 22,800 points as markets rally. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman launches a dedicated mobile app for PM internship scheme. The internship application window is open till March 31st. Major Asian stocks register gains. US markets to end on a higher note. And global crude oil prices rise. Brent crude trades at $71.91 per barrel.
भारतीय शेयर बाजार में आज जोरदार उछाल। सेंसेक्स 1131 अंकों के साथ 75,000 से ऊपर बंद। 325 अंकों के उछाल के साथ निफ्टी 22,834 पर बंद। वित्त मंत्री निर्मला सीतारमन ने प्रधानमंत्री इंटर्नशिप योजना के लिए मोबाइल ऐप का शुभारंभ किया। आवेदन करने की अंतिम तारीख 31 मार्च है। एशिया, यूरोप और प्रमुख अमेरिकी शेयर बाजारों में भी आज बढ़त दर्ज हुई है और वैश्विक कच्चे तेल की कीमतों में तेजी। ब्रेंट क्रूड की कीमत $71.91 प्रति बैरल के आसपास। और सबसे पहले शेयर बाजार की खबर। प्रमुख घरेलू शेयर बाजार आज काफी मजबूती के साथ बंद हुए। सेंसेक्स और निफ्टी दोनों ने आज महत्वपूर्ण बढ़त दर्ज की है। सेंसेक्स 1,131 अंक या 1.53% बढ़कर 75,301 पर बंद हुआ, जबकि निफ्टी 325 अंक या 1.45% बढ़कर 22,834 पर बंद हुआ। दिन के कारोबार में सेंसेक्स ने 75,386 के उच्चतम स्तर को छुआ, जबकि निफ्टी 22,599 और 22,845 के बीच कारोबार कर रहा था। यह बेंचमार्क सूचकांकों के लिए मजबूत बढ़त का लगातार दूसरा सत्र था।
Indian stock markets ended on a strong note today with both the Sensex and the Nifty posting significant gains. Sensex surged by 1,131 points or 1.53% to close at 75,301, while Nifty climbed at 325 points or 1.45% to settle at 22,834. During the day, Sensex hit an intraday high of 75,386, while Nifty traded between 22,599 and 22,845. This marked the second consecutive session of strong gains for the benchmark indices. The rally was primarily driven by realty, automobiles, metals and banks, which contributed significantly to the market's gains. The market saw a broad-based rally with 2,715 stocks advancing, 1,153 stocks declining, and 117 stocks remaining unchanged. Investors remain bullish as most stocks saw gains. Among the top gainers on the Nifty were ICICI Bank, Mahindra & Mahindra and Shriram Finance. Conversely, Bajaj Financial Services, Bharti Airtel and Tech Mahindra were among the few stocks that ended lower. Sectoral indices performed well with all sectors closing in positive territory. Auto, capital goods, consumer durables, metal, power, realty and media sectors saw gains of 2 to 3%. Broader markets also performed well, with small cap stocks leading the rally. Nifty Small Cap 100 Index surged by 2.71%, while Nifty Mid Cap 100 Index gained by 2.1%. Sectoral indices on the NSE closed in positive territory with gains of up to 3.62%. Let's have a look at how the rupee performed today.
जी हाँ, अंतर बैंकिंग विदेशी मुद्रा बाजार में रुपया डॉलर के मुकाबले 26 पैसे मजबूत होकर 86 रुपये 55 पैसे प्रति डॉलर के स्तर पर बंद हुआ। 6 अन्य प्रमुख मुद्राओं की तुलना में डॉलर की मजबूती दर्शाने वाला डॉलर सूचकांक दिन के कारोबार में 103.36 पर था।
And let's now look at the Morgan Stanley report, which has garnered much attention in terms of India's GDP growth projection, leading to India to become the third largest economy in the world by 2028.
जी हां अर्जुन, अमेरिकी निवेश बैंक और वित्तीय सेवा कंपनी मॉर्गन स्टैनली ने वित्त वर्ष 2025-26 में भारत की खुदरा महंगाई औसतन 4% रहने की उम्मीद जाहिर की है, जबकि इससे पहले 4.3% का अनुमान जताया गया था। रिपोर्ट में कहा गया है कि फर्म आरबीआई द्वारा 25 बीपीएस दर कटौती को जोड़ने के लिए अपनी मौद्रिक नीति को अपडेट कर रही है। भारत की सीपीआई मुद्रास्फीति दर फरवरी में 3.61% तक गिर गई, जो 6 महीनों में पहली बार है कि जब ये आरबीआई के 4% के लक्ष्य से नीचे आई थी।
So clearly there's a projection of the RBI cutting the repo rate by 25 basis points in the month of April as well, after their 25 basis point cut earlier. Let's have a look at how the Asian markets performed well today, Vibhuti, following the trend of what happened with the Sensex.
जी हाँ, आज का अगर देखें तो आज एशिया, यूरोप और अमेरिका और मतलब हर जगह जो है अच्छी ही खबर है और सारे बाजारों ने काफी अच्छा किया है।
So let's have a look at what the Asian markets did today.
जी हाँ, तो जहां तक एशियाई बाजार का हाल है, तो एशियाई बाजार के जो सभी प्रमुख बाजार हैं वो सकारात्मक क्षेत्र में आज कारोबार कर रहे थे। जापान के निक्केई में 1.19%, हांगकांग के हैंगसेंग में 2.40%, दक्षिण कोरिया के कोस्पी में 0.06%, सिंगापुर के स्टेट्स टाइम्स इंडेक्स में 0.91% और चीन के शंघाई कंपोजिट इंडेक्स 0.11% की बढ़त के साथ बंद हुए हैं। यूरोपीय बाजार की बात करें तो जर्मनी के डेक्स में 1.18%, फ्रांस के कैक में 0.54% और लंदन के फुटसी में दिन के कारोबार में 0.29% की बढ़त के साथ ये कारोबार कर रहे थे।
Let's have a look at the US markets. US stocks gained for a second straight session as investors sought bargains after the Nasdaq and the S&P 500's 4-week tumble. The Nasdaq Composite Index gained 0.31%, the S&P 500 advanced 0.64%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose by 0.85% today. Vibhuti, very interesting day at the stock market today with the Sensex going up by 1,031 points, 1.53%. Both the Sensex and the Nifty saw major gains today, despite the FII selling mood. But we had the Morgan Stanley report saying that India is likely to grow to become the third largest economy in the world in terms of its valuation, overtaking Germany by 2028. One of the reasons is India's ability to control inflation, despite food having a major weightage on the inflation index CPI. India's ability to control inflation and keeping below 4% and 5% is a factor, one of the factors really behind India's surge as one of the world's largest economies, Vibhuti.
देखिए अर्जुन, जैसा कि आपने कहा कि एक तो उम्मीद पहले से थी, जिस तरह से ग्लोबल मार्केट से जो सकारात्मक संकेत थे, उसके बाद कहीं ना कहीं से ये लग रहा था कि आज मार्केट में तेजी आएगी और ये अनुमान जो है सच साबित हुआ और आज भी मार्केट में बल्कि एक जोरदार उछाल के साथ हमने देखा। और ये एक अच्छी बात है कि पूरी दुनिया में कहीं ना कहीं से आज बाजार सकारात्मक भी रहे। और इसी बीच हमारे साथ एसपी शर्मा जी आ गए हैं, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है।
जी शुक्रिया।
Dr. Sharma, good to have you on Market Mantra. The markets really were in a bullish phase today, going up by 1,131 points. Nifty and Sensex up by more than 1.5%. What led to the buying across all the sectors, this kind of broad-based buying that we've seen today? We are seeing the Asian markets go up, the US markets go up. Are you seeing bargain buying today, bargain hunting, value buying across the sectors in the market today?
Yes, Arjun. I would say that this is the value buying, as our prices are becoming more and more competitive in the international market, and FIIs are again expected to enter in the market in the coming times because we have strong fundamentals and we have a great growth trajectory. Our IIP numbers, core infrastructure, and trade deficit is also coming down. So all these parameters are supporting the growth at this juncture, and in the coming times, the quarterly growth will also be high as compared with the previous quarters. So now the value buying is becoming more and more important, and investors are entering in the market once again.
Another interesting fact is the currency movement, the foreign exchange rate. India's rupee has recovered a great deal. We also have news coming in right now that in Mauritius itself, India is looking to strike a deal with the central bank to ensure that the rupee is a legal tender in their markets as well. We're also seeing that because of the protectionism all across the world, that the US dollar index has actually come down. It's not going up right now, and the rupee has recovered significantly. Do you see this trend continuing? Because trade has always been dollar denominated. Do you see that the agreements and the concessions that other countries are having with India, including what New Zealand is trying to get into a free trade agreement with India as well, do you see the rupee recovering strongly despite all the headwinds all around the world?
Yes, rupee is recovering significantly, and rupee will remain stable at the higher level because now there is uncertainty in the US market because they are increasing the tariffs, which can cause some inflationary trends going up in the coming quarters. So that's why the Fed rate will not be reduced, not expected to be coming down in the near future. So that's why the economic uncertainty is causing the weakness in the US economy. That's why the dollar is decelerating, and other currencies like the competitive currencies like us, we have strong fundamentals, as I mentioned. So that's why our currency is recovering significantly, and that will remain intact in the coming days too.
Also, we're seeing that there is a great deal of buying into gold, which has now crossed $3,000 per troy ounce, which is about 27 grams per troy ounce. There seems to be a move away from the dollar now into gold as well. I think Vibhuti has the gold story, and he can read it for the benefit of our listeners on Akash Vani. But it has crossed $3,000 US dollars per troy ounce. Do you see gold prices continuing? I know you're bullish on gold.
Yes, I am always bullish on gold because dollar is now weakening significantly, and during the recent days, the dollar strength is coming down. So that's why the gold prices are going up. And as I mentioned in our previous many sessions, that deepening geopolitics and the other uncertainties are supporting the gold prices at the higher level. So that's why the gold prices will remain intact as the geopolitics is not stabilizing, rather deepening. So that's why the markets will remain bullish on the yellow metal.
जी, हम सोने की कीमतों में अगर देखें तो ये मतलब इसी साल जो है 12,000 तक का इसकी जो है कीमत बढ़ी है
जी।
और जहां तक एक भौगोलिक जो स्थिति है, जो भी तनाव है, उसको आप क्या देख रहे हैं कि और आगे इसमें अभी और ये आगे इसकी कीमत और जाएगी ज्यादा?
देखिए, जो सोने की कीमत है, खास करके जो अभी हम जो ट्रेंड देख रहे हैं पिछले 1-2 साल से, जब से जियोपॉलिटिक्स काफी डीपन हुई है, तो उससे गोल्ड के प्राइसेस के ऊपर काफी पॉजिटिव प्रभाव पड़ा है। प्राइसेस बहुत अप हुए हैं। तो जिस तरीके से अभी हम देख रहे हैं कि किसी भी खित्ते में जो जियोपॉलिटिक्स है, भले ही कुछ सीज फायर की बात हुई हो, बट स्टिल द चैलेंजेस रिमेन, काफी ज्यादा अभी ट्रबल्स हैं जो कि गोल्ड प्राइसेस को सपोर्ट करेंगे। और नंबर 2, जो हम देख रहे थे कि यूएस इकोनॉमी में बहुत अच्छी स्ट्रेंथ आ रही है, जो न्यू पॉलिसी रजीम है, शायद वो डॉलर को सपोर्ट करेगा, वैसा नहीं हुआ। डॉलर वीक होना शुरू हो गया है बिकॉज ऑफ अनसर्टेनिटीज। एक तो इन्फ्लेशन की अनसर्टेनिटी दोबारा हो गई है कि जो टैरिफ्स इंक्रीज हो रहे हैं उनसे जो प्राइस प्रेशर्स बनेंगे, प्राइस एस्केलेशंस होंगी, तो इन्फ्लेशन इस लेवल पे स्टिकी रह सकता है या फिर ऊपर जा सकता है, जिससे कि फेड आने वाले टाइम में अपना डिसीजन नहीं ले पाएगा। और दूसरा, जो रिटेल सेल्स है उसमें भी कुछ कमी आई है। फेब में जो रिटेल सेल का जो एक्सपेक्टेशन था कि 0.7% से इंक्रीज होगा, वो 0.2 पे ही इंक्रीज हो पाया। तो जिस वजह से यूएस के इकोनॉमी में एक जो रिसेशनरी ट्रेंड है उसके आने की एक संभावना बनी हुई है, जिससे कि डॉलर में वीकनेस जो है वो काफी स्ट्रांग हो गई है। और गोल्ड में, क्योंकि जब डॉलर वीक होता है तो उसका सीधे तौर पे जो फायदा है गोल्ड को जाता है। लोगों का जब एक जो इंटरनेशनल करेंसी है उससे जो कॉन्फिडेंस है कम होता है, दैट रिफ्लेक्ट्स इन दी,
वी कॉल इट आर्बिट्राज आल्सो।
जी हाँ, श्रोताओं को सोना और चांदी का भाव बता दें। सराफा बाजार में सोना आज बढ़त के साथ कारोबार कर रहा था। अंतिम समाचार मिलने तक भारत में 24 कैरेट सोना 0.9% बढ़कर 89,200 रुपये प्रति 10 ग्राम के स्तर पर था। वहीं चांदी 1.4% बढ़कर 1,02,110 रुपये प्रति किलोग्राम के स्तर पर दर्ज की गई। मल्टी कमोडिटी एक्सचेंज में अंतिम समाचार मिलने तक अप्रैल में आपूर्ति किए जाने वाले सोने का वायदा मूल्य 0.91% बढ़कर 88,824 रुपये प्रति 10 ग्राम पर चल रहा था। वहीं मई में आपूर्ति की जाने वाली चांदी का वायदा मूल्य 1.38% बढ़कर 1,01,928 रुपये प्रति किलोग्राम पर चल रहा था।
Dr. Sharma, please also refer to the Morgan Stanley report, because one of the factors behind the projection of India growing into the third largest economy is because of their ability to control inflation as well. So they have projections till 2027 where India would have the ability to control CPI at below 5%. 4.3% is what they're projecting right now, because this is in relation to the other nations' inability to control inflation. How do you see the Morgan Stanley report in terms of India's growth story?
Yes, I totally believe on the Morgan Stanley report, because IMF projections are also in the same direction. IMF is projecting that India's inflation for the current year, for 2025, will be at around 4.1%. So that is below the projections made by Morgan Stanley. And the trend is also favorable, because now inflation is at 3.61%, which is 6 months low. And we are expecting a great Rabi crop in the coming times, and record wheat production also. So all these things will support the inflation at the lower level. And second thing is that we have great growth parameters, including the digitalization of the economy, and we are adopting the artificial intelligence. More and more companies are entering in the artificial intelligence. In 2023, only 8% companies were adopting. Now the number is more than 25%. So all these parameters are supporting the speed of the economy, but definitely we were impacted by the inflation trajectory. But now, with the improved supply chains and the calibrated steps by Reserve Bank of India, the inflation trajectory is coming significantly down, below the 4%.
What about the repo rate? Do you expect a 25 basis point cut in the month of April? That's also there in the Morgan Stanley report, because inflation is linked to the lending rate of the central bank.
Yes, we have a great scope to reduce the repo rate now, because the inflation trajectory is significantly down as anticipated. We were expecting that inflation will remain sticky at around 4% or somewhere between 4 to 4.5%, but that has come down significantly. So we are expecting a cut of 25 basis point in the coming credit policy review.
तो कहीं न कहीं से EMI में लोगों को राहत मिलने की एक संभावना।
जी बिल्कुल, और बैंक्स को वो पास ऑन भी करना होगा इन केस जो एक बहुत संभावना है कि भी 25 बेसिस पॉइंट से कट होगा, तो उसका आगे पास ऑन भी बैंक्स की तरफ से होना चाहिए, तभी जाके जो कंज्यूमर्स हैं उनको फायदा होगा कि
Coming back to the Morgan Stanley report, credit to GDP is likely to go up as far as the Indian economy is concerned. Another factor behind the India growth story. So how important is the monetary policy of the central bank, not just for the month of April, but for the coming quarters as well, all the way up till 2028?
Because we have lot of developments at the infrastructure level and capital investment. So we need money, we need liquidity. So Morgan Stanley report is totally favorable for the growth of the Indian economy, and they are anticipating that India's growth story will remain intact not only for the years but for the decades. So going forward, the liquidity support, the funds are needed at this juncture to support the infrastructure development and to support the growth parameters of the Indian economy.
One last question. India's share of the world GDP is 3.5%. For India to achieve that target set by Morgan Stanley, it has to be 4.5%. how do you see a manufacturing share in the GDP of India go up right now?
That will go up with the adoption of new technology and the innovation system, which is now becoming very, very visible during the last 2-3 years. As last year, our manufacturing growth was at around 9.9%. We can say the double digits. So despite the headwinds, despite the many troubles and uncertainties, current year also is very good for the growth of IIP or the manufacturing or the growth of other supportive parameters like the core infrastructure. So going forward, the share of manufacturing with the support of innovation, with the support of R&D as the focus of the government is high on the research and development activities, and they are announcing so many measures and the funds for the research and development activity in the country. So we are expecting that this share of manufacturing will increase in the coming times with the digitalization and with the adoption of more and more technologies, particularly the artificial intelligence, that will increase the volumes and our participation in the global exports trajectory, which is already very, very intact, and we are going to post the new numbers, new highs in the exports for the current year.
Our next story is on the youth development. When we talk about demographic dividend and how important upskilling is for the youth, here is a very interesting story. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman launched a dedicated mobile app for the Prime Minister's internship scheme yesterday. Srimati Sitharaman commended the Prime Minister's vision in introducing a package of 5 schemes to promote employment, skilling and opportunities. She emphasized that the scheme has a potential to bridge the gap between classroom learning and industry expectations, hence enhancing youth employability. She further urged the industry to actively participate in the scheme. The Prime Minister's internship scheme, announced in the Budget 2024-25, aims to provide internship opportunities to 1 crore youth in the top 500 companies in 5 years. The pilot project, with the target of providing 1.25 lakh internship opportunities to the youth, was launched for the financial year 2024-25. The scheme provides an opportunity to the youth to get training and gain experience and skills in industry for at least 6 months. During the internship, each intern will get a monthly financial assistance of 5,000 rupees and a one-time financial assistance of 6,000 rupees. In the round 1 of the pilot project that ended in December 2024, over 82,000 offers were made to the candidates. The round 2 of the pilot project commenced in January this year, and about 327 companies have posted more than 1.18 lakh opportunities across the country. The internship application window is for round 2 is open till March 31st. How do you see the internship opportunities of the top 500 companies with opportunities, rather openings of 1.18 lakh openings in terms of job opportunities for the youth?
Arjun, world is changing, and we are in a new economic order when we are adopting the new technologies, new innovations. So we need the new skills also. We need upskilling, reskilling, unskilling. All these parameters are now in very much force to move forward and to become more and more robust in our growth trajectory. So that's why the linkages between the academics and the industry are needed and strengthened, because these are not at that much level, not that much strong also. So to create employment opportunities for the growing young population, we have to connect the academia with the industry, so that they are able to provide the skills according to the industry requirements. And industry is also able to get the adequate skills from the education system or the skilling system. So that's why the government focus on the internships with the support of their funds is very, very important. And going forward, we are expecting that this will provide immense employment opportunities and fulfill the industry needs to move forward and to become more and more strong and innovative in the coming times, to compete in the world economic system, new world economic order.
Since you mentioned about the skilling and, of course, the importance of employment, the Morgan Stanley report also talks about the entrepreneurial class that's coming up in India, which will, of course, create further employment once they set up their businesses. How important is this for any developing country?
Yes, because we are though we say that we are developing country, but our aspirations that we are going to become the world economy by 2047. So we have to adopt the new skills and the new technologies, new innovation, new parameters. So that's why the focus of the government, focus of the policy makers, focus of the analysts is on to provide more and more skilling to the youth, so that they are participating more in the growth of the Indian economy, and they are getting the adequate employment opportunities in the industry and other growing segments.
एसपी जी, एक प्रश्न की ओर लौटते हैं थोड़ा सा। ये जो अर्जुन ने बताया अभी कि जो पीएम का इंटर्नशिप योजना है, इसमें आज मोबाइल ऐप का लॉन्च हुआ है
जी।
तो इस मोबाइल ऐप के लॉन्च होने से जो युवा हैं उनको कितनी सुविधा हो जाएगी और क्या फायदा होगा? ये
बिल्कुल आपने बड़ा अत्यंत इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन किया है, क्योंकि कई बार क्या होता है कि जो पॉलिसी का है वो यूथ को या उसका जिनको नीड है नहीं पता चलता है, और उसका कई बार अप्लाई करने का जो उसमें एंटर होने का जो प्रोसेसेस हैं काफ़ी टीडियस होते हैं। तो इस ऐप से जो हमारा पॉपुलेशन है, जो ग्रोइंग यंग पॉपुलेशन, आई वुड से द एजुकेटेड जो क्लास है, जिनके पास एजुकेशन है बट दे आर नॉट एबल टू गेट द एडिक्वेट जॉब्स इन द इंडस्ट्री और द अदर सेगमेंट्स, तो उनके लिए एक बड़ी सुविधा रहेगी कि वो ऐप के जरिए अपना जो मैपिंग कर सकते हैं कि उनको कहाँ पे जाके अपना इंटर्नशिप करना है, उनको पूरा इंफॉर्मेशन उसमें अवेलेबल होगा, जो भी सरकार की पॉलिसी जो अनाउंस हुई।
प्लस इट्स अ रजिस्ट्री ऑफ your application itself.
Yes,
that's
yes,
with the
yes.
PMO office as well. Let's have now look at the oil market. Global crude oil prices saw an uptick today. Brent crude oil prices increased by 84 cents or 1.18% to $71.91 a barrel. US crude rose 84 cents or 1.24% to $68.42 a barrel. How important is geopolitics right now in terms of the Ukraine crisis now coming to some kind of a settlement between Russia and Ukraine, with the US playing an arbiter, and of course oil from other sources as well? What about global demand? How do you see oil prices being range bound?
Global demand is not that much strong, but the prices are observing some uptick because of the dollar weakness firstly, and second, some expectation that China will provide a stimulus to the economy and the demand can re-emerge in China, which is the second largest economy in the world economic system. So that's why some speculation is happening in the crude prices that in the coming times the prices may go up because the dollar is also weakening and some demand is expected to re-emerge.
So we are talking about the futures market right now, the spot market, in terms of what to expect from the oil prices. What's the spot market telling us, and what is the futures market? We know what the results and the futures market.
Because oil prices, the crude oil prices are always speculative. There is a huge difference between the spot and the future prices. So there is no significant price discovery also. Prices can prevail from $30, $40, $250. So all speculation happens in the crude oil prices. But I don't see that there is a great scope to for the crude oil prices to go up. Prices will remain volatile but stable. But below $75 per barrel.
When the Ukraine crisis is resolved fully and finally with Russia, do you see sanctions being lifted and India benefiting once again imports from Russian?
Yes, India will be benefited, but there will be a huge demand also as the global geopolitics is stabilizing. Then the demand will re-emerge and the prices can also see some rise in the global economy. Yeah.
एसपी शर्मा जी, मार्केट मंत्र में आने और चर्चा के लिए आपका बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you. Shukriya.
And before we close, a reminder of the headlines. The Sensex surges by 1,131 points to reclaim the 75,000 mark. Nifty closes above 22,800 as markets rally. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman launches a dedicated mobile app for the PM internship scheme. The internship application window is open till March the 31st. Major Asian stocks register gains, US markets to end on a higher note, and global crude oil prices rise. Brent crude trades at $71.91 per barrel. And that's it in this edition of Market Mantra for now. Goodbye.
Namaskar.
मार्केट धक्का।